Hey y'all, welcome to our video series here on commission plans within BrokerMint. In this particular video, we're going to take it up a notch and we're going to walk through how to create tiered compensation. So let's go ahead and check that out. Okay, so what is tiered compensation, otherwise known as sliding scale commission plans, right? So tiered commission plans work as this. The brokerage will offer the agent a lower percentage or a lower split of the transaction until a certain dollar amount in commissions has been reached. Okay. Then the percentage of the split paid to the agent gradually will increase as they reach certain dollar amounts and as they have contributed certain percentages or certain dollar amounts to the brokerage. Right, so this is really, really helpful because it can incentivize productivity and also can ensure that we're going to continue to work throughout the year, right? And hey, the more homes I sell, the more money I make, right? So again, that's a great way to incentivize our agents. So let's walk through a scenario in where this could potentially be beneficial. Right? So let's say that we have a new agent and her name is Anita, and she's just beginning her real estate career at the Cobblestone Group. Okay, so initially, her split is that she will receive 60% of the commission and the brokerage will receive 40% of every transaction until she has paid the brokerage $10,000. Okay? Then, after she meets that $10,000 metric or after $10,000 has been paid to the brokerage, her split will change. And now, Anita will receive 70% of the commission while the brokerage will receive 30%. And this number will continue to increase in favor of Anita until she meets a certain metric of money paid to the brokerage. In this case, we'll say that her office cap was $50,000. Okay, so again, meaning that after she's paid $50,000 to the brokerage, she would then receive 100% of the GCI, right? And just as an ancillary note, this brokerage contribution or her cap would reset. Either you can do a year to date or you can do at the agent's anniversary date. So again, if I started on July 4th or July 5th or whatever it may be, I could reset every July 5th and I have new goals starting then. So let's go ahead and get into BrokerMint. Okay, so here we are in BrokerMint, as you can see here, right? In this particular instance, we are going to make a commission plan. Okay, so commission plans are found right here underneath of our settings tab. Okay, so we're going to select commission plans. Okay, so first and foremost, this is going to display all of the plans that I have previously created, right? So again, you can see that we've made a couple, but in this instance, we're going to create a new plan. So we're going to select this option right here where it says add a plan. And the name of the plan that we're going to create is a general agent / brokerage sliding. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and click add. Okay, so now we can see there's that commission plan that I've just created. Note, if I want to, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start making changes or I'm going to insert the criteria that I want on this respective split. Okay. Note, make sure that you're clicked into the correct plan, right? So we do want to make sure that we're editing the general agent brokerage sliding scale. Okay, so I'm going to click right here, and now I'm going to make some changes. So I'm going to click this option right here where it says to split. Okay, so now first and foremost, we could have a simple calculation, but again, we want this compensation to be on a sliding scale. So I'm going to select from this drop down, and I'm going to make this selection right here where it says sliding scale. Okay, so again, there are a number of metrics that we could change, right? First and foremost, we could determine what is the sliding scale base that we want to utilize. In this particular instance, y'all, we're going to use a commission basis. Okay, that's our general recommendation. But again, you could change those metrics dependent upon whatever you'd like. But again, our general recommendation is that you use this commission basis calculation, as that tends to be the easiest from a functionality perspective. Okay. Now, again, previously when I mentioned if we wanted it to either be the anniversary date or conversely, if we wanted it to be year to date, again, this is where we could make that distinction. And again, I am going to select since last anniversary. Okay, so again, if I was hired on August 5th, now my cap will reset on that respective date because we know not everyone is starting on Jan 1, right? All right, so let's go ahead and set up our commission, right? So again, first and foremost, 60% of the balance is going to be paid. 60, and I'm going to add in my tier. So 60% will be paid to the agent until they hit a $10,000 mark. Okay, I'll click that add button here. Now again, after she reaches that metric, 70% of a transaction, or the commission I should say, will be paid until they reach the $25,000 mark. Okay, until $25,000 has been paid to the brokerage. All right, now I'll add in my next tier, which is 80%. Will go to the agent until they've paid $50,000 brokerage. And then finally, once they've paid $50,000 to the brokerage, 100% of that compensation will go to the agent. Right? And again, I could add in other metrics here if I'd like, but again, I'm going to leave it as is. Okay, so again, I have this set up, and let's go ahead and save this respective plan. Okay, so now we can see under our general agent brokerage sliding scale, when we click into that split, now we can see that that's set up and according to the metrics that we like. So now that we've created this respective commission plan, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to go into the user and assign this particular plan to them. Okay, so again, I'm going to scroll down here, and underneath of settings, I'm going to select users. So now I'm going to determine what particular users or agents that I want to be able to apply that commission plan that I just made. Okay, so again, if I click, we'll say that the agent that we want to apply this plan to is Alex. After I click into his name on the right-hand side over here where it says commission plans, this is where we can add or delete the commission plans that we want available to this respective individual. Okay, so I'm going to click right here, and we can see as of right now, he only has one plan applied. So I'm going to click Update Plans, and I'm going to select this option right here where it says Add a Plan. And again, there's the one that we made. General Agent, Brokerage, Sliding Scale. Okay. I could click Save. And note, if I wanted to apply this to other agents, such as Anita, right, I could do that. Again, clicking that Update Plans. So now, when this individual makes transactions, right, they're going to have the ability, or me, the transaction coordinator, is going to have the ability to be able to apply this respective commission plan that I've made. Okay, so let's actually put that in motion and show what that looks like. Okay, so again, I'm going to go back to my pipeline here, and we're going to create a transaction and apply that particular plan and show what it looks like and how that compensation will increase in favor of the agent as their productivity increases. So let's click Transactions. Okay. And we're going to click this option right here in the upper right-hand side where it says Create Transaction. Okay. So again, we're going to type in the address, and we'll just say that this first one is 123 Main Street. Okay. And that's in Charleston, South Carolina. And we're going to use a similar number or the same number for each transaction just so that we have some consistency. Okay, so I'm going to say $750,000 is the listing price for each and every one of these. All right, now I'm going to click Next. And we'll say that the total percentage, or the GCI, is 6%. 3% going to the buying side, and we'll be on the listing side here. Okay, so we'll receive 3% of that commission as well. First and foremost, we're going to have to select our company. We work for the Cobblestone Group. Okay, so I selected that option here. And over here on the right-hand side, we're going to add an agent for the individuals who's taking care of this transaction. And I'm just going to go ahead and use Alex. Again, right here where it has commission plans, this is where I can make the distinction or the selection of the commission plan that I want to apply. So I'm going to select from this drop-down. And again, there's the one that we created and apply to that user. I'll click Save. And again, I'm just going to type in that 3% there. All right, now that that's been squared away, let's go ahead and click Next. And let's create this respective transaction. All right, now that this transaction has been created, we can see here that the total GCI was $45,000. If I want to see more information regarding this particular commission, we'll click into this Commissions tab within this respective transaction. So I'm going to click Commissions here. Right, and now we're going to see the total gross was $45,000, but we're specifically focused here on the listing side. Okay, so I'm going to click into the listing side here, and I can see that from the listing side, which is the side that we're concerned about, the total gross was $22,500. Right, $14,750 was paid to the agent, and then the office received $7,750. Okay, so now let's go ahead and replicate a similar transaction to see how those numbers change as this particular agent becomes more and more successful and more productive. Now, just as a note, in order for the metrics to change in favor of either the brokerage or just to change on this particular scale, this particular transaction would have to close, right? So again, if I were to start to create this new transaction and get to that same screen that I was just on, we would see the same exact numbers. So it's an important distinction to make that that particular transaction would in fact have to close. And how a transaction closes is dependent upon certain brokerages determinations. Okay, in this particular instance, I'm able to close this transaction, but do note that you would have to close the transaction before we would start to see those numbers change. And again, I'm just closing this transaction. Okay. Most individuals, like just general users, are not able to do this unless they have that specific permission. Okay, so now underneath of our transactions here, that would be displayed no longer as an active, but that would be displayed as a closed transaction, right? There's our 123 Main Street. So now again, let's go ahead and replicate that same experience. Okay, so again, we're going to create another transaction. And this time we'll say that it's 555 Main Street. And again, this is in Charleston, South Carolina. And we'll use that same number as $750,000. Again, we're going to replicate the same exact split, right? 6%, with 3% going to the buyers and 3% going to our company as well. Again, we're still working for Cobblestone, and it is the same agent, right? So again, I'm typing in Alex, and again, we're using that general split. So again, I'll click save, and again, I'm just replicating those same steps that I took in the previous transaction. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and click create. And now we can see here, again, the gross commission is still $45,000. But now, again, I'm going to click into that particular commission tab within that transaction. And we can see here how the number has slightly changed, right? Still, again, we're looking at Alex, and we're looking at the listing side here. $22,500 is going to the listing side. But this time, the agent is receiving $17,750, with the brokerage receiving $4,750, right? So we can see here that that number has slightly changed. Right? So again, one more time, let's go ahead and close this transaction. We'll say everything goes smoothly and we can close it. And let's show one last transaction to see how those numbers change. Okay, so let's create one last transaction, same agent, same split, same metrics. Okay, create this transaction here. Again, this time we'll say it's 777 Main Street. Still Charleston, South Carolina. Same price of $750,000. 6%. 3. And just repeating those same steps that we previously did before. Okay. All right, we'll go ahead and click next, create. And again, we can check it out one last time. Let's click into that commissions tab, and we can see here again, right? Now, this time we're only paying the office $1,000, right? So you can see here how those numbers have started to change, right? So again, let's just say we close this, and let's just see how the value paid to the agents changes over time. Right, so finally, we've done 3 transactions, all for $750,000, all with that same general agent brokerage split. Okay, so again, if we go back here to our transactions, and again, we want to look at all of our closed transactions. Let's go ahead and click this. The first transaction that we made, 123 Main Street. If we click into the commissions, we can see here, $14,750 was paid to the agent, right? That's the value that we see here. And again, if we wanted to add in any deductions afterwards, such as desk fees or anything like that, we could in fact do that. All right, so that was transaction 1, right? 123 Main Street, it was $14,000 paid to the agent. All right, now if we click in our second transaction, so they've added some member metrics. Again, we'll click into commissions here, and we can see here in this instance, now the agent has received $17,750, right? So again, this agent is being incentivized. The more you sell, the more you make, right? And then lastly, again, that last figure is around $19,000, with only $1,000 being paid to the brokerage. Right? So again, that's essentially how you can create and apply these particular plans. So again, thanks for spending time with us. And again, I hope that this has proved to be beneficial.